What's up, guys? I had just not too long ago, well, maybe a couple hours ago, came from my kickboxing class. I kicked ass on that freaking bag, bro. But something just made sense. Like, okay, so there's no cars parked on this street. Well, up there, there's two cars. There was one car parked here when I first came by. I really hope that car is fast, as loud as it sounds. But because sometimes you see those cars sound loud like that, and they be going slow as heck. So only my car's parked right here now because one lady that had a gray or silver car similar to mine, she took off from after the Blazer game. Let me go make sure the doors are locked. Yep. So I'm the only one parked here now, and I keep seeing a police. Like, maybe it was a different officer, but I saw them come from around that corner where it says Pacific Corp, and then go at that light and make a left. So something just dawned on me though, because there was a woman, that one of the security women that stands right here. Um, well, she was standing right there when she was smoking a few minutes ago, and I asked her if it was okay to park here because I saw that there were no cars here. She was like, "Oh no, you're absolutely fine." Like, and she said the earliest I've seen the parking meter guy come out here is between. I mean, it's around. She was about to say 7, but and she went 9. And I was like, "Are you sure it's not 7, ma'am? Because it sounded like you were about to say 7." She was like, "No, I get off at 7." It's one of those type of security people, but it's not her though. They be wearing blue and black, and there's something about some of the security, because I remember back in the summer of 2022, I realized what was happening is that the security officers that were wearing yellow and black around where Dollar Tree is on, I think, Weidler. Um, they were part of the gang stalking because of the activity. I had it on camera, but they took my phone. So all of that evidence that I had, I no longer have it, but I remember what happened though. So anyways, this security woman, the skinnier one, she was out here with the gauges in her ear. She seemed pretty chill and cool, but she told me she gets off at 7, and the earliest she's seen them out here was 9. I was like, wow, that it just dawned on me. So then she started walking in quickly in that building, because that's where the security people are at. So basically, um, it just dawned on me as she was walking inside that, excuse me, I was like, how did she, if she's off at 7, how does she see them, the latest that they're out here is 9? So I figured maybe she lives around here or something, and that's how she's seen them out here. So that was too much information, because it's almost making me think that that time I got a ticket on the car, even though the car's not registered yet. What I will be registering it, even though on another video I said, and I ain't gonna register it, but I'll go into details later on about that. But in some other video, some information is not to be shared publicly, anyways, because I'll be operating in the private. But yeah, I will have the car registered. It's just that I parked it for now, and well, not that I parked it. I'm just thinking about how they were probably working together. One of the security officers was working together with the parking meter person, because how else would they come early in the morning? That time I made a video where I got the person's name off the ticket, and then I threw the ticket on the ground, and when I came back the ticket was gone. Like, I was probably gone for 2 to 5 hours maybe, and it's possible it's been blown away, but I didn't see it anywhere in the vicinity of where I was parked at. So I guess somebody got upset. I'm just assuming this is not like, this is like a hypothetical, not synopsis, but um, hypothesis of what happened just based off what she said. Because I was like, how is she around here? And I saw a African American woman go in that building too. So I guess there's like apartments up there, or maybe she's going in there to clean, or she works there, or she has an office there or something. So I just parked my car, and then so I was just thinking, it came to me in my mind that, okay, so let me just put it like this. I threw the ticket on the ground. This was maybe about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, I believe. Maybe 4 weeks ago, but I think it was only no more than 3 weeks ago. because I think 2 weeks had passed since I did that, and then all of a sudden, a state police pulled behind me, and I wasn't even speeding, so I knew that he was watching me. I felt it all of a sudden. I started looking. I looked back in a cut area because I felt some energy of someone focusing on me. It's similar to how, like, when Jesus, not saying I'm Jesus, y'all, but I'm just saying, like, in the Bible, remember when they were talking about how Jesus said who touched him, even though it was a crowd of people, there was a bunch of people out there that could have touched him, but it was something energetic that he felt, that was different from a woman basically drawing energy from him to get healed. She said if she could just touch the hem of his garment. So, like, it's an energetic type thing. And it's the same thing for when all of a sudden I felt someone focus their energy on me. And so I start looking around, and next thing you know, I was looking in my rearview mirror and I saw the lights come on, and it was a state police officer. And he was strictly trying to get the VIN number of the car. I'm glad that happened, though, because now no other officer can come up to me and say that the car was stolen just because it's not registered, because he has my legal government name from my state ID that I gave him, because I was just trying to make things go smoothly instead of trying to say, you know, plus it didn't come to my mind at the moment, because I was so focused on the ridiculousness of realizing that these people were literally watching and stalking me. But anyways, I'm waiting for that person to stop, to go by when they're walking their dog, because they're trying to figure out what I'm doing and see what I'm saying. And because if they were just walking their dog, minding their business, they should have already been gone by me by now, because the dog's not even pulling them. I'm not trying to show them. So I'm trying not to have other people in the camera without their permission, especially if I don't see them as a threat of doing anything to me. Like right now, he's over there looking at me, but I had just looked over at him at the same time. Dude, I don't care what your dog is doing, if it's taking a pee or taking a poop, because it's over there. It's nobody. I'm not one of those people that report, oh, this person let their dog crap on the ground. Well, if anything, now I see one of the people who be walking their dog. And I wish my baby dad would stop freaking calling me. I'm not giving him no damn money. I'm sorry, y'all. You can't see the screen. And he hung up right then and there. It's like he heard me almost. Like, stop freaking blowing my phone up asking me for stuff. Ignorant ass. But yeah, I'm going to block his number again. He used to call from block because I did that. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. Trying to ask me for money. But yeah, so anyways, I remembered the reason why I feel like that state police got behind me one time and just randomly, like, I think it was last week that happened. He just randomly got behind my particular car, and then in the end of the video on my channel, there's another video at the end of, I think it's a part 2, that shows, or it might be a part 1, I can't remember. Yeah, part 2. So it showed a random hillbilly looking dude in a navy blue, or some type of dark blue truck just roll up on the side of the grass. He was on the grass with some lumber chopped in the back of his yard, and the state police knew exactly who he was. He just turned around like, oh, there's my bud, and started talking to him. And so I knew that was strange, because I've never seen nothing like that before, ever. And it was just the way it happened. I'm like, because it felt weird after I left from Tobacco Town off Barber Boulevard. I went to go get a cigar and some Italian beer, and because I don't see it sold at other stores around the area where I live, so I was like, wow, so I could only pretty much go there and get that particular light beer, instead of only getting Stella Artois. But I don't even really drink that stuff like that too much, but that's why I moved back to the light beers. But anyways, it was right after I left there, something felt strange, and after I went, I was headed towards to go get something to eat for my son and I, and then all of a sudden I felt this weird vibe, like something wasn't right. And then I started looking around, because I said, oh, wait a second. And then next thing you know, I saw the lights flip on, and he wanted to get the VIN number, and he was saying that he wanted to take my trip permit from me, and that is not authentic because it was forged from the person I bought it from. I didn't know it was forged, but I had an idea when I bought the second one that it might have been forged, because the numbers at the dealer numbers were different. And I was like, oh crap, great. But I just left it on my car, because I just, I already paid the dude for it. And so I told him about what happened. He said he was going to get me another one, but he never showed up. And this is the same dude, Anthony Smith, who wind up getting me. And there's that other security officer lady. She walked across the street because she knows she asked me something earlier. I asked her something earlier about parking there. I kind of feels like she's hoping that I don't realize the contradiction in her statement about her saying the earliest she gets off at 7, but the earliest time she's seen them out and about was 9. So maybe she was pulling a double that day that she's seen them. But I just thought that was kind of strange. And then I saw that police going down the street a couple times. I was like, I know that one day they were trying to wait to see if they can illegally make up a reason to try to take my car from me. So they might. So I already prayed against that. But if something happens, I already know, like, it's like a cause and effect type thing where it's not, in the long run, it's not going to wind up being good for them energetically, um, even though they're abusing their power currently of them wearing a uniform. But anyways, I put it together because before that, like, I'll say after I threw that ticket on the ground, a few days later, I was just traveling on the road off of Barber Boulevard near Hall Boulevard, and this was after I had told that country western singer's son, if that's really his son, because sometimes people be saying stuff like that, but it probably is, because he lived in Hollywood and he's gay, he has a husband, so he might be telling the truth that his dad is the western singer Doy, I think Doy Bell or something like that. But anyways, I didn't care about that stuff because I know a lot of celebrities that's into some dark stuff, so I'm like, at this point, only certain ones that give me anyways, I don't want to talk about that. But so I wasn't like, oh wow, I'm talking to someone of a child of a celebrity. I wasn't like that, but I thought it was kind of interesting. But anyways, after I confronted that individual about him still trying to call me and ask for a ride and pretend like he don't know who I am, then that's when all of a sudden, when I was traveling on Barber Boulevard coming from Hall Boulevard, and now all of a sudden that road is closed now too. I think that's kind of funny. I found another way to get around that area too, since they closed that road. But anyways, before they closed the road, one day no one, I don't even think anyone ran the light or anything, but I was making a turn when the light turned green, and there was a traffic light. It just randomly flashed me like one off, like it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was like it was out of order. That's not the word I want to. That's not the phrase I want to say. It was just it was like incorrect. It's almost like they had people there watching the stoplights, and it took a picture of me. And then because I didn't have any plates on my car, um, and I turned, and the light was green, so I had the right of way to legally make a turn. I wasn't speeding or anything, and then it just flashed and it took a picture of me. So I think they did that. And it's all starting to tie in together from the past when I went through a red light and it flashed me. Now that time it was legal, but I think they didn't have an address to send a ticket to me, so they didn't, and it flashed me at a different area, which that's understandable. But after it flashed me in that vehicle, a few days later, a few days later, that's just the Max train. Some of y'all know about them horns and them train bells and stuff at certain times. But a few days later is when that state police came and stopped me. And I usually don't see the state police traveling in the streets like this, like in the regular type of residential bit, or sometimes the business areas. But when I started seeing that state police driving by a couple times, I knew something was up. I was like, no, they didn't brought in somebody and something's not right. He was like in a Charger, I think, a white Charger, the newer ones. And so I started putting it together. It's funny how that conversation with that security woman triggered that thought, and I started recognizing like how everything was connected in a way. Like it could be just me making up some sort of story, but the things that had happened back when I was being gang stalked previously, it doesn't seem too far fetched for me, because it's like a organized, it's like an organization, and it also happened the same day that a lady who works for SEI with DHS. It happened the same day she finally addressed a text message I sent to her about me going through some gang stalking type stuff, and I told her she seemed like an upright type woman, so I was telling her about it. And then that same day, when I had said something about that stuff, later on that night is when that state police troop, not trooper, but state police came and just got behind me like he knew who he was looking for, and then flipped his lights on. I wasn't speeding or nothing. I was traveling with another car. So that's why it kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, why is he pulling me over? I ain't even did nothing wrong. Like, I didn't do anything like a traffic infraction type of thing, like besides the car not being registered. But there's other people who I know, they're riding around with permits, and the car's not even registered, and it's on the outside of the car, but they singled me out for some reason. So I realized that they were trying to do it on a larger scale of the harassment. And I'm sharing this story so people can realize, like, when certain stuff like that happen, it's because, I mean, it's not just it's not just a coincidence. And I don't know if that security lady was walking out to check to see if I was gone from by the car so they can do whatever they're trying to do. I don't know if they're trying to remove a tracker off of it or put one on it, but I noticed how I've been peeping out day by day. I keep mental notes of sometimes how certain things happen in what order, and it's like a certain order certain things happen, and that's how I put it together and realize who's dealing with who, like who's doing what and who's working with who. And it's funny because one last thing I want to say is, I remember earlier today I was briefly watching a reading, but I'm gonna take a break from the readings because I'm kind of tired of hearing about the karmic stuff, and I don't really care. I'm just trusting God at this point, Like, I already pretty much figured out that there's so many people involved. And she was saying that earlier, like, you're going to be shocked when you realize how many people were involved and who they were. But I already started realizing that, like, towards the end of last year, I believe, um, 2023, that I was realizing how great and grand it was of so many people who were involved in, like, trying to basically spiritually and physically bully me with certain stuff. That's all it is. That's what gang stalkers do. They just try to intimidate and bully your ass. And while I'm at it, I'm noticing the different placements of certain people where they park their cars when they haven't parked certain places in a while. I also wanted to demonstrate, well, this is a guy who's mad at me because I ain't never give him a chance to date me. He got in his feelings. And that's funny because I remember a reading of someone saying sometimes people hold grudges and they can't let them go. I think it was Intuitive Goddess 333. She was saying something about that, and I remember because you see he have a trip permit, and don't it look like it's behind some plastic and it's on the outside of the car there. And I just saw another person earlier today driving in traffic, traveling, that were they also had a plastic, or it was laminated or had plastic on the outside, and it was sticking up where well, not sticking up, it had the plate on the outside. And I remember the state police said it don't go on the outside. See, like, if I see people walking towards me across the street, like they see me, I just go another way. I don't go the same way that these people are where they're at, because I don't have time for it. But yeah, but you guys see what I mean? Like, some of you are smart. You'll start to put it together about what I'm saying. Just leave me the freak alone. I'm also working on not trying to say curse words all the time just because I can. And I wanted to take a look at how this car is trashed completely, and it's still just here. Nothing's wrong with it. I mean, nothing's wrong with it being here. So if something happened where oh yeah, this guy right here, he's always out here watching. That's the guy who I saw walking towards me. And one time when I had my car parked right there, he had came really close, like he drove super fast and just almost hit my car because he had an attitude about me not giving him a chance. It's funny because I was just talking about that situation, about what was going on, about how he was upset because I didn't give him a chance. He got upset and he said something to me, and I knew he was bullshitting me, so I cut it off. And then all of a sudden later on, he gonna send me something. It was about a stupid recipe for if you get sick or something. return to sender. I just held my hand up for a second, and then because I feel his energy, he's upset and pissed. I don't fucking care either. I just did a backwards flip off because like don't you come close to my car again and act like you finna hit that. You know what? I'm trying not to say no curse words. When I get upset, you can hear the change in my voice. But I got upset, but I didn't even bother that guy. I didn't do anything to him. He just came by my car. I was sitting in the car park one day, and he came by so close, like he was trying to sideswipe me. And I remember today, Intuitive Goddess 333 had just said something about people don't know how to let go of a grudge sometimes, just because you rejected them or you didn't give them a chance to be with you or date you, or sometimes it's because I ain't have time for that after all this gay stalking and stuff, and me realizing that they want people to get close to me, and then they let that be the person that they allow to infiltrate me because they know that that person's close to me. That's why I don't get close with certain people. So that's all I want to say. And I showed I had showed the car, and look, broken glass all shattered on the ground, and and I'm not afraid. I'm just walking by, keeping the camera on just in case he want to try to do some more stupid SHI, you know what, like drive past me real fast like an idiot. And he's a black man. That's why I know. And it's funny because speaking of that, I had a dream earlier at 4 o'clock in the morning, this morning, where a black man came to spiritually attack me. This is the second or third time that's happened in the last 2.5 years, where a black man has come to attack me in the spirit realm, and I got they ass. One time I put it on YouTube on a comment section. I was like, yeah, yo ass thought you was finna come and get me in the spirit realm, and I still got your ass. I had even more strength in the spirit realm than I do in the physical realm. And the dude that I was fighting last night, it's like he had a grudge. He was trying to, oh, I'll tell that dream some other time, but long story short, I had put my hand in his neck and started choking the crap out of him, and he had dark black eyes, like darkness was in him, like how sometimes I'd be seeing certain human people when it's like I get a glimpse of them, it's like real quick I'll see a flash of them having a dark black eyes. See, watch, he gonna come this way, but the last time he went the other way. See, nigga, now you on the camera. It's because he kind of like, he do passive aggressive anger type shit. I'm like, nigga, if you don't take your ass on, he might have saw these boxing gloves sticking out at the bottom. Like, oh yeah, she with the business. She been F my behind up. Like, I heard two black ladies walking by. She was like, nah. I realized they were talking about seeing my gloves when I was putting them in the car. They was like, that's what it do. That's what's up. Or, oh yeah, she said, that's what I'm talking about. And I just realized that she was saying that about seeing that, and I just thought that was funny. I thought that was like kind of hilarious. So anyways, back to what I was talking about. I try not to get y'all up in here, but it was just crazy because these people be doing crazy stuff around here. My car is specifically left there, so I'm glad I got that on camera. So if something's wrong with my vehicle, you guys will know what I'm talking about. And how happened I walked in that area and he saw me, so he wanted to go walking past the car all fast. I'm like, nigga, hell yeah, I did that SHI, you know what? Because your punk behind went close to my car and tried to act like you was finna sideswipe and crash into it unnecessarily, just because you was in your feelings about me not letting you get none of this, you know what? He was trying to bring flowers to me. I'm like, I don't need no flowers. It sounded kind of creepy. Like he gonna have, like I seen something in the past where some dude sprayed some stuff on some flowers and it made the person pass out or something like that. Like, you know, that stuff they put on the white cloth and then they put it on your face and you pass out. Like I know that was reading too much into it, but that's not, I'm pretty sure maybe that's not what was gonna happen, but I just was being careful because people was just doing weird stuff. Like that time I started picking up he had that kind of attitude too. That's why I didn't deal with him. Plus he knows somebody else that lived where I live and in a wheelchair, and I just didn't want them in my business because when dudes start dealing with somebody, even if you don't deal with them, even if you don't F with them, I found out that they go spreading lies about your name and talking mess about you. So that's what they get. They go talking mess about you, and the reason why I said that's what they get is because I was thinking about earlier how I saw a title of a reading that said while somebody was out spreading lies about you, their close friend was out airing out their dirty laundry about them, and that's why I said that's what they get, because I feel like that's how that stuff be happening. But anyways, I'm finna go ahead and get up in here, y'all, because it's cold out here and I got my son out here. He got a blanket and a jacket, but still I need to make sure he good. Oh hell no. See, these motherfuckers is hanging out on the corner. That's what your gang stalkers is. All these niggas out here, they live in the same apartments. I ain't trying to get their face and stuff all up in it, but it's just that I start to see the association of certain people, the certain things that they do at certain times and who they're connected to. That's when I figured that stuff out, and when I saw that it was a bunch of people connected to each other, I stopped dealing with a lot of people. So yeah, that's just, hopefully that helps y'all when I share these stories. Sit down. I share these stories so that maybe you guys could look up some things that happen in your life and put two and two together about certain stuff. Like you can all of a sudden think back on something that happened and realize what really happened, or what was really going on, or what somebody was really trying to do. Like you start to see their true intentions on what was going on. So yeah, that's all. All right, deuce.